With today's video models, you can do whatever you want, like this. Want to learn how? Let me show you. So this video pipeline is nuts, and I'm really surprised more people aren't using something like this. This is extremely powerful in hooks, like you just saw. It's also really good in ad creative as well as organic stuff. I have a friend who is worth many tens of millions of dollars that's currently generating over 2,000 AI videos a week with something like this. So it's not just changing an outfit. I have kind of this like little USB thing. Well, I can do that just like this. Alternatively, let's say I wanted to, I don't know, change the time of day. Relighting and stuff like that is pretty expensive if you think about typical productions. Now I have the ability to change lighting in a flash. So I'm going to show you all that in this video. You're going to learn everything you need in order to be able to develop really cool visuals like this. So what is the actual workflow or like pipeline for this? Well, it's pretty straightforward. To start, you need some form of source video. And the source video in our case is going to be what you guys just saw me show you earlier. So if I just head over to Finder here, you can see that I basically have this folder called AI video set up. And inside of that folder, if I just double click, we have that same video. So if I just go through with no audio, you could see that I lean forward to do the exact same thing that I did in that intro. And then I even snap my finger. It's just notice that when I do the actual snap, nothing happens. Well, the reason why is because we're going to use this as the trigger to change my outfit. Now that source footage can be around 10 seconds or so. I don't think most video models right now allow you to go over this, but you can also creatively chain together a bunch of these source videos in a way I'm going to show you guys with no downside in a sec. After you have that source video, you need some sort of hyper-specific prompt. Now, the way that I define a hyper-specific prompt, and I've just seen a lot of people screw the pooch on this one, is you just need some form of trigger, which is typically time-gated. It's like a thing that occurs during the video that results in a change. And so in the demo that you guys saw earlier, for instance, it was the snap, right? The snap did the change. But you can tie it to specific words and so on and so forth too. So it's really not that complicated, right? You have a trigger over here, which is the moment that the model watches for. And then you have a change, which is exactly what is meant to happen next. So in this hypothetical example where I'm like wearing a cloak or something, when the man reaches towards his shoulders, maybe like this, have him pull a shimmering cloak over himself and fade to invisible, maybe Harry Potter style. So if you want to have a good prompt that works, if you want this to work, you'll notice that the specificity is very, very important. And I'll make sure to show you guys a bunch of examples of that in a sec. Okay, finally, you obviously need the AI intelligence. Now, there are a variety of different models currently available that you could use. I'm going to be using one called Omni, but Kling is also pretty dope. And as mentioned, people are developing these things all the time. The key with the sort of model to use for this is it needs to be video to video, which is different from like your typical run-of-the-mill video generators. And let me cover what that means. Right now, a lot of people here that have experimented with like AI video typically get pretty disappointing results. And the reason why is because most of the time you're trying to generate something from scratch, aka you are just feeding in text and then you're expecting a bunch of pixels in the time dimension to magically appear and to be totally coherent. As I'm sure you can imagine, this is pretty like intellectually complicated. I mean, I can't do that. It takes me a hell of a lot longer than like 30 seconds or however long these video models are. So rather than generate from total scratch, okay, and then be disappointed with the results, we're working in a medium that we've already recorded. And so we provide some sort of real footage here. And then all we do is we actually just modify that footage ever so slightly with a prompt. And so that's sort of what we're going to do over here with Omni. We're actually going to like feed in the pixels, the lighting, everything's already going to be there. All we need to do is just basically insert something into this world that we've already created. Obviously, inserting something into a world that we've already created is a lot easier than creating an entirely new world. Makes sense. Now, finally, when all is said and done, we're going to output some sort of 720p render. For those of you guys that are unfamiliar, most video nowadays, especially video on YouTube and other social platforms, is higher than 720p. And the reason why I bring this up is because the people that build AI video into their workflows that don't account for the fact that the quality is significantly degraded, at least as of the time of this recording. I'm sure it'll get better eventually. The people that don't learn how to work around this fact are going to get significantly crappier results, and their pipelines are just going to be terrible. What you need to do in order to make this work for any ad, any organic video or whatever, is you need to hide the 720p seam with an intelligent cut to a different scene. Now, what do I mean? I mean, if you guys have a crappy AI shot at 720p, or, you know, like a more compressed version, and then you immediately cut back to a real shot, one that has not been AI edited, it'll be naturally disjointed. A really good example of that is like this. I mean, this just looks really weird all of a sudden because obviously, you know, I've gotten a lot more compressed. So what that means is instead you need to change the actual nature of the shot. Rather than going from like full screen talking face to full screen talking face, you need to go from like full screen talking face to just another scene entirely. The way that I do it, and the way that I've done it many times in this video, if you haven't seen, is I go from the 720p AI shot to a screen share. I can have some super crazy shit happen in the background, but then cut back to the video you have no idea that that occurred. You can't really tell the pixels are different. Nobody can really say, hey, what happened with that weird seam? And that's it. Now that you understand everything that goes into this, let me show you how to actually do it yourselves. Now you need that video model like I talked about. The first one I'm going to be using is Gemini Omni. And if you head over to deepmind.google/models/Gemini-Omni, you can go to this page right here. You can try it directly in Gemini, also Google Flow, and then they have a little build with Gemini Omni feature down below. And you guys could see the scope of changes you're capable of making. You could turn your whole room into bubbles if you wanted. Really, it's more about the ideas than it is anything else. You just need to know what to tell the model in order to make it work the way that you want. This guy turned himself into Neo from the Matrix, basically. Now, I'll be honest, it's not free, obviously. We're going to be doing something that's pretty computationally intense. Because we're going to be doing something that's pretty computationally intense, you guys can expect it to cost a little bit of money. We're working with pixels here, and not just static pixels like with images. We're working with a time dimension. Keep in mind that on average, a video has 24 to 30 frames a second. So you're technically generating 24 to 30 images a second. We have 8 to 10 second video clips, like I'm going to show you guys in a second. One of these things might realistically cost you 50 cents in order to generate. And what you'll see is you can't just generate one, you typically have to generate multiple simultaneously to take advantage of parallelism and then exploring a vast solution space. More on that in a sec. Now, because of the fact that it's expensive, and then I got to come up with all these prompts and stuff like that on my own, and to be honest, I'm not a very creative person, I don't actually use Gemini Omni directly in their builder. I use it through a third-party platform, in my case, Higgsfield. There are a couple of these, but essentially what they are model aggregators that just slam together all available current video models, state-of-the-art systems and stuff like that, just into one place so that you can build a pipeline where you pass it through, let's say, model A first, and then go to model B after, and then do model C after that. And, with so many different models out there, this is really their value prop. It's just come to us and we'll deal with all of it. So I like Higgsfield. I'm going to use it just to show you guys more or less how this stuff works. But I want you to know you don't have to be tied to this. You could also just use it in the Google Omni sort of dashboard. When you sign up to this and then you click on video in the top left-hand corner, and that's what I would do. Don't click on a specific one, just go video. You'll be taken to a page that looks something like this. If you head to the top left-hand corner, click the button, you'll get something that looks like this, which is just a big list of prompts that you can use to one-shot. I'm not going to do any of that right now, but it's pretty neat. You can just select one, have a really engaging intro hook for your ad or whatever, and then immediately arbitrage tokens and then the increased CPCs. It's actually kind of nuts how you can do that nowadays. In terms of the actual workflow, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to exit out of this, pretend I haven't actually uploaded my media yet. I'll head over to upload media, and you'll see here that I have a video, combined 2026, one that I was talking about, that I'm going to have uploaded. After it's done this little uploading dialog, all you need to do is just click on it, and then that'll put it right over here in the left-hand side, add it to prompt box, and then just enter whatever it is that you want. And in my case, what I'm going to do with my hyper-specific prompt is I'll say, right after the man says this at exactly 2.9 seconds, change his outfit to a cool-looking hoodie with a chain. Then I'm going to click generate. Now, one thing I want to stop and disavow of right now from thinking is that this is going to work 100% of the time. This is going to work 20% of the time, which means on average, you're probably going to need to rerun this thing 5 times or so if you really want to get the smoothest effect possible. Nobody's telling you this right now because they want you to think that this is way cheaper than it actually is, but you're going to have to run this multiple times. So just knowing right off the bat that I'm probably going to have to run it multiple times, rather than just make a prompt, click generate, wait for the results, see the results, be dissatisfied with the results, and do it all over again. Rather than spend 30 seconds on that, I'm actually just going to generate a bunch of these simultaneously. And I'm going to do 5 or so, and I'm just going to see which one is the best. This also takes a fair amount of time because, as mentioned, we're not just doing, one image. Even images take a lot of time. We're doing 24 to 30 images a second for however long the length of the video is. And you'll also notice that this isn't free. I mean, this costs 15 tokens. I don't know exactly what the token to dollar conversion is here, but if you do this 4 or 5 times, it's 60, 70 tokens. That can actually add up a fair amount. You should expect to spend maybe 50 cents to $1 for this. Obviously, as time goes on, this is going to go way cheaper, but some ways that you can significantly reduce the cost if you guys are cost bottlenecked is you can upload a shorter video. If your video is 10 seconds, you're going to consume more than 15. If it's 5 seconds, you're going to consume less than 15. I'm doing 16 by 9 here because that's widescreen, but obviously, you guys can select the smallest aspect ratio for whatever the specific model is that you want. And then, yeah, I mean, like the shorter the video, experiment with different types of models if, cost is the major bottleneck. And then you can eventually get to the point where I'm going to show you here. After all said and done, you get something like this just generated. I'm just going to turn on my audio. Hopefully you guys could hear this. With today's video models, you can do whatever you want, like this. Want to learn how? Let me show you. And you'll see that, it hallucinate from time to time. Like what happened there? I didn't even snap my fingers and then it changed my outfit. And then not only did it change my outfit once, it changed my outfit again. And then it changed my outfit again to like a half blue suit, right? So that's not actually what I want. I just want like the super finesse chain switch. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. With today's video models, you can do whatever you want, like this. Want to learn how? Let me show you. With today's video models, you can do, this did two things. I mean, like that I didn't really like. The first thing is it sort of like slowly like spanned the hoodie over me, which is actually kind of dope if you go frame by frame. But then it like put the mic in my hands, which I don't really like. I just want it to look exactly like you guys expected. With today's video models, you can do whatever you want, like this. Want to learn how? Let me show you. This one was pretty good. I think this is probably like 80–90% of the way there. I could probably select this and move on. I'm just going to poke around and see if the other couple of gens that I made are okay, and then I'll loop back. Okay, and then the end output, the thing that I liked, actually ended up looking like this. With today's video models, you can do whatever you want, like this. Want to learn how? Let me show you. So as you guys have already seen this, because I've put this in the intro, that snap, it happened immediately, that millisecond that I did it. What we have to do is we have to weave this into whatever other footage that we're doing with the scene change. So, in this case, I'm going to use Premiere Pro. You guys don't have to be video editor pros or anything like that. Premiere Pro also costs money, like, Higgsfield, like Omni and stuff like that. So to be clear, if you want to work with AI video, and it's not going to be cheap. It's going to cost you quite a pretty penny. Just like contrast that to like token-based pricing, right? But anyway, I'm just going to open up Premiere Pro and then I'm going to feed in my content. So I'm going to go shorter over here. That's just like the name of my project template for whatever reason. I'm going to open that puppy up. And then what I'll do, and keep in mind, you can do this again in whatever thing you want. Okay, I'm going to feed in the original footage. And we're just going to keep existing settings. Then I'm also going to feed in this Higgsfield edited footage, so just so you guys could see the actual difference. Okay, so this is the high quality intro, and let me just make sure that it's on full. You guys see how like the pixels are really defined and stuff like that? This is the Higgsfield 720p. And so, I mean, like if we kind of, I don't know, hypothetically were to overlay this one on top of each other like this, and then if I were to go back here, okay, and then play, you'll also notice that the length of the videos are just a little bit different. Do you see how this one here goes to here, whereas this one here is sort of different? That's because the AI is actually pretty, like it's kind of changed the very nature of the video itself, including like the audio waveform and when things are in the audio file. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very carefully try and drag this over so it's like 1:1. And then at any point in the video, I'm just going to go back and forth so you guys could see. So this is the Omni one. This is the real one. Omni, real, Omni, real. You can see there are very slight differences, but we're nowhere near like uncanny valley territory like we are when, we realistically try and AI generate a totally new video clip. So now that you have that, what you need to do is you need to weave that into like a piece of footage where, we're not actually transitioning right back to another talking head screen, because if we do that, it'll kind of be broken. Okay, now I'm just going to find a really simple video I could use as an example. Why don't we use this one here? This one looks like it's kind of cutting into a bunch of stuff, so that looks nice. And I'll go back here. All right, okay, so now what we have, if I just mute this track, is we have this sort of magical, snap my finger thing. And then notice how I'm transitioning to a new scene. And so you can't actually tell that we just went from like AI to something else. And obviously, ideally, whatever the footage is that you have, if you're doing like a screen share talking head thing, that would be pretty similar too. Okay, so that's more or less it in a nutshell. The cool thing is you can actually proceduralize this with Claude if you guys are using Claude Code, or a Codex if you guys are using Codex. The way that you do that is, at least Higgsfield anyway, has like an MCP, which is just a series of API connectors essentially that you can call that can do all this stuff for you. So you could actually say like, yo, I got this thing on my computer, I want to edit it 10 times, and then I'm just going to select the best one. And that's pretty much it. If you guys like this sort of video, let me know down below. As mentioned, the key here is you need to be pretty specific with your prompts. So ideally, you'd either denote the exact moment that you want something to happen, happen or the exact trigger condition with the change. You also need to retry a bunch of times. Like this isn't going to happen immediately for you. That's just the state of AI video. That said, if you guys do get to a point where the pipeline works really well for you, whatever the effect that you're adding and so on and so forth is, this is extraordinarily effective right now. Like you can arbitrage the credits that you spent on this to like massively improve, your ad CPCs, the watch time and retention of your content in specific places, and so on and so forth. And basically nobody's doing it right now, which is wild. So yeah, let me know down below if you guys like that sort of stuff. I'll make tons more AI video content for you if so. Also, if you guys want all the resources from this video, I've actually uploaded them in the classroom of Maker Zero. It's my free school community where I essentially just upload everything to make it really easy and centralized. At the same time, there are a bunch of additional benefits, including comprehensive courses, good prompts and workflows and loops and stuff like that. So if you want that, just head over to Maker Zero, click Classroom, and then head over to Recently Uploaded for everything you need from today's session. Thank you very much for watching and have a lovely rest of the day.